Hello there! I'm very happy today because yesterday I had a wonderful day at Alton Towers and it was brilliant. I was sent to Alton Towers by Goodfella's Pizza because they've released a special Smiler pizza and they wanted somebody to go and check out the pizza, check out the Smiler at Alton Towers and just generally check out the park. And I haven't been to Alton Towers since I was about 14, which is more years ago than I care to admit. So it was really fun for me to go back, and especially since I was an adult, so I could go wherever I wanted and do whatever rides I wanted without worrying about my dad. So it was very, very fun, and today I would like to do a little kind of a review mixed with a vlog, sort of review vlog combo. So of course, first of all, we had to drive up there. I went with my best friend Marie. We made a little road trip of it. So we had a little road trip playlist. And then her sat-nav took us through all these really windy little country lanes. And I thought we were going to die.
This was our journey.
We're going to die.
No, my God.
This is ride number 1.
Turn right. I'm going to break down and get murdered.
Oh God, don't say that. But eventually we got there, and because we are sensible, mature adults, we made a plan. So I got my map, we came in, and we turned left through Mutiny Bay, and then we took a shortcut through the Haunted Hollow, up to the Gloomy Wood, and went on to the Forbidden Valley. The first place we went was Nemesis. We were queuing up, Marie said, it doesn't look very fast, this ride. Turned out she was completely wrong. It's very, very, very fast. It was a lot of fun. Whizzing around, zooming around, there's lots of loops and whatnot. Lots of fun. And then after that we went to Nemesis Subterra, which is... I'm going to spoil it now, by the way. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Cover your ears, I'll put a little spoiler alert thing at the bottom. When the spoiler alert goes, you know you're okay to uncover your ears. It's kind of like a mixture between an interactive experience and a little bit of a ride as well. So you go through, and the premise is that they've discovered this egg that belongs to the Nemesis alien, which looks like a massive crab. You go through, you have to go through in pairs, you go through and you go down the lift, except you're not really going down, but you feel like you're going down the lift, and you come out and you all have to sit around the egg. But then all the lights go out and the chairs start shaking, and then you can feel the alien running around behind you and feel it at your feet, and it was terrifying. It's pitch black and you can just feel these things running around your feet, and I kid you not, I was literally going, ah! And I didn't know that when I am in a state of pure terror, I flail my arms around, and I was fully aware of how stupid I looked, but I could not stop flailing. It was terrifying. You think it's all over and it just drops like that. You go back up and it's saying evacuate, evacuate. So you evacuate and you go in the lift, and then the lift stops and it starts shaking around, and this puff of wind goes like that, and then you leave and there's people in gas masks who jump out at you. It's pretty terrifying, and I cried a little bit in fear, but good fear, not bad fear. After going to Nemesis, we went to Air, which is the one where you are dangling face down. So the roller coaster is all face down, which was a lot of fun. It's a really weird sensation when you tilt up and you're just hanging like that, but it was so much fun, especially when you go upside down and you're on your back and you're thinking, whoa, this is not right. It's brilliant. I really recommend it. It's a lot of fun. After Air, we went to Ripsaw, which is a ride in which you spin round and round and round and round like this, but at the same time you're going around like that, if that makes any sense. And as you do it, these jets of water are spraying up in your face. Now you don't need to worry, because you don't get that wet. I didn't get that wet. Nobody on the ride got that wet, apart from Marie, who somehow, and I don't know how, managed to get absolutely soaked head to toe. and when we came off the ride, people were laughing at her because she was so wet. Prepared for that, just in case you managed to get this one seat where you get soaking wet. So after these, we went down to the Sky Ride here, and we went along in the cable cars, and it's beautiful. My goodness, the grounds are gorgeous, the garden and the actual towers themselves, which have a really interesting history behind them, and I'll put a link down there because it's really fascinating.
You'd have been puffed, wouldn't you?
Daddy, there's like a secret passageway.
Went to Rita here.
And I'm about to shuffle.
It's fast. It's very fast. Very, very, very fast. And then behind Rita is 13. Which I was really excited about because A, 13 is my lucky number because I was born 13th. And B, because it's all got this sort of creepy, spooky, eerie thing. And I'm into all that creepy stuff. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert! You go on the ride, and at first it's just a pretty standard roller coaster. You've got some ups and some downs, and it's fun, it's fast. It doesn't really feel that great, and then you stop, and you go into the castle, and Marie said to me, oh, is that it? That wasn't all that. And then it goes pitch black. And then these ghosts are all lit up next to you, and then you just go whoom like that, and you drop down, and then just when you think it can't get any scarier, you start going backwards, and you're going up and down backwards. So that twist really made it. I wasn't expecting it at all because I had no idea about the ride before I went on it, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. And then afterwards they had these really cute little spooky bears, and I didn't buy one. And then as we were leaving the park, I saw this girl with a spooky bear, and I thought I really, really want one of those. So I think I'm going to go on the website and see if I can find one, because I want a spooky bear. They're really creepy. You press their hand and they go, if you go down to the woods today. And I think, how amazing would it be if you rolled over at night and accidentally pressed it and you just heard that in your ear. Terrifying. Then we thought, before we got our food, we would head over here to the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory ride. That was actually the longest we queued. We queued for about 45 minutes, I'd say. So everyone is a child. And then there's just me and Marie in the queue, like, hey, we don't have a child in tow. We're hardcore. Where are we going, Marie?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The ride.
The ride. The whole queue is made up of children. And then us.
One always be a blueberry?
Don't be silly. The Oompa Loompas will de-juice her in no time.
We went to the burger kitchen, which was pretty good. It was very similar to a fast food burger restaurant that rhymes with McDonald's. And the prices weren't too bad. I think it was £6.50 for a double bacon cheeseburger with chips and drink. So it wasn't too bad. Filled a hole, shall we say. We went round to the towers and we went on Hex. Hex is based on the concept of the Earl of Shrewsbury, who was a real person who really did live in Alton Towers back when it was a stately home. And according to the ride, he sent away an old beggar woman who was begging for money, and she hexed him. And she said, when a branch falls from the oak, a member of your family will die. And then that very night, a thunderstorm hit, and a bolt of lightning struck the tree, and the branch fell down, and true to her word, a member of his family died. It doesn't say which one. I don't know if it was someone like his son or his great uncle Bernard. We don't know. But then he became obsessed with the branch, and he dragged it into an old vault and locked it up so that nobody would ever see it again, and conducted all these experiments so that the curse would not affect any other members of his family. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. There's 4 long rows of seats, and they're in pairs that face each other. And then you're sitting there and you put your bag under your seat, and I still have my sunglasses on my head. And you sit down, and then you get this weird sensation. And it feels like you're moving, but you look around, and the room is still, which is very odd. You start swaying and swaying, and then you're going upside down, and you can see this branch on the floor, and you're upside. And then I realised when we were just hanging upside down, I realised that my glasses were still on my head, and they hadn't fallen off, and my bag was between my feet, and it hadn't moved. And I looked across at me, and the woman opposite me had long hair. She had her hair down like this, and she was looking at her hair like this, because evidently it wasn't up like that. And I got very confused because I could feel that I was moving. I obviously wasn't upside down. I think what had happened was that we were moving, and at the same time the room was moving. It was very disorientating, very weird. I'm still not entirely sure what was happening. I did enjoy it, although it was very odd, and I'm still very confused about it. The best thing about it, I think, is that you come out inside the Alton Towers itself, inside the towers. And at this point the sun had come out, and with this wonderful blue sky, and the building is beautiful. It's this gorgeous Gothic revival building. Oh, it's so beautiful. And there's got this wonderful conservatory, and you come out and you can see all the fields across and the lake. And you can see right away across to the park entrance. It's a perfect place for a picnic, by the way. Afterwards, we went to X Sector, which is where Oblivion is, and the Smiler. We went to Oblivion first, and when I last went to Alton Towers, Oblivion had just opened, but my dad's scared of heights, so he wouldn't go on it with me, and I didn't really want to go on my own, so I just missed it out. So I was really, really excited about the chance to try Oblivion this time. So you get in your little pod, you sit down, and you go along, and it's got a little bit of a roller coaster first. You got some little dips and things, so you go, ooh, and then it climbs up, and I was terrified. I'm not going to lie, I was so scared. You get to the top, and then you tilt forward, and you just hang there for a second, and on the floor at the bottom it says don't look down, and you just hang in there, and then it drops, and you go down, and you're going down face first. Now, I'm sure you've seen the adverts for the Smiler, but the concept of Smiler is that you're going into this kind of twisted hospital where they're trying to brainwash you. It's almost like some sort of dystopian, futuristic thing going on. They're trying to normalise you, that's what it's called. And what's really cool about the Smiler is that it's a 14-loop roller coaster, which I think, I will check this, it is the most loops on a roller coaster in the world. Me and Marie were really lucky because we actually had fast track tickets for one thing, which was fantastic, because the queue was massive. At one point the queue was 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It's a really popular ride, so I do really recommend getting fast track tickets if you can. It's well worth it just for having those extra 2 hours in your day. There's no queue for the front seats. It's the luck of the draw. If you happen to be there, you happen to be there, and if not, try again later. But we were so lucky that we managed to get those first row seats for our first go. Straight away, as soon as you leave, there is a loop, and it just catches you completely unawares because you just whoop, whoop, there's the loop. There's loops that go forward, like that. When you go under, there's loops that you go over. There's loops where you just spin like that, like a corkscrew. Those are my favourite ones. After about a minute and a half, the ride stops. And it says, halfway normalised. And you think, we're only halfway. It's a really long ride, which is fantastic. Definitely the longest ride I've been on. So you stop, you're halfway there, and then it starts going up, and it goes up, and up, and up. And we didn't realise this until we were on the ride, but it is a vertical ascent. Literally vertical. You are lying completely on your back, and it goes up, and up, and up, and up, and it feels like it will never ever end. It's terrifying in the best possible way. And you get to the top, and then you've got a massive loop like this, which is when you have your photo taken. My photo was something like it's so much fun. It's amazing. It is one of the best rides ever. You come off and you're so disorientated, And then as you leave the ride, all the corridors have been painted with optical illusions. So it looks like they get thinner, it looks like you can't find the way out. It's very disorientated. And they play this song, which is really clever, I think, because they play this song and it gets stuck in your head. And everybody leaves the ride singing this song. So it's almost like actually the brainwashing works. And what's really clever about it, I think, is that wherever you go in the park, there will be people singing that song. And then you hear the song and you think, Smiler. I seriously recommend the Smiler and Fast Track if you can. It's well worth the Fast Track, I think. We went on Enterprise, which is a little one here, which you might just be able to see, which is kind of like a Ferris wheel, except instead of going round when you're sitting upright, you go around with the ride. And you get in these little pods. You can fit 1 or 2 people in the pods. We thought it was probably best if we went in one each because I take up a lot of the pod, to be honest. You close it in, you don't have a harness because you're inside this cage. It starts on the ground and it goes slow and then it lifts up like that. So at the height of the ride, you are just going around like this. But you're facing forward the whole time, so you're like, ooh, 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 like that. Which I loved, because I love the feeling of being dizzy, apart from when it's to do with mid-ear problems. I actually find that motion very soothing and very relaxing. So I was just kind of chilling out. Marie thought she was going to throw up, and then she felt really sick afterwards. And I think for a lot of people it can make them feel really queasy. Especially as because you're not harnessed in, you are moving, slipping around backwards and forwards inside the pod. You're just kind of going everywhere. I loved it, but it's probably not for everyone. After that, we'd gone all around the park and we had about half an hour left until closing time. So we thought we'd go on the Rubber Dinghy Rapids, which are actually called the Congo River Rapids. And they are just here behind Mutiny Bay, so kind of where we were to begin with. There was a sign saying, caution, you will get very wet. We were lucky and we didn't get wet. There was a seat which Marie very nearly sat in, and that seat got absolutely soaked. So she was very glad that she moved. And because all the water pools in the middle and I was wearing sandals, my feet got really cold and really wet. So I recommend, if you've got open-toed shoes, put them on the raised platform in the middle of the rapids and then it won't slosh all over your feet. They're really fast rapids, there's lots of up and down motions. There's one point where there's 2 waterfalls. There's a waterfall on either side and you're bashing about between them. And also, one detail that I loved is that there are water cannons at the side and other attendees at the park can pay £1 to get 10 shots of water and they can squirt you as you go past, which is a really good idea, I think. It's really fun, interactive way. You're guaranteed to get wet, especially if you go, "Way, shoot me!" because people will aim for you. It's a really great way to end the day. After that, we only had 4 minutes left and we could have got on another ride because the advertised closing time is when the lines close, not when the park closes. So we could have had time for another one, but to be honest, we were pretty tired by that point and we thought let's just go. And the very exciting part was that on the way out, we got to experience the Goodfella's pizza vending machine. It was a Twitter activated vending machine, and you know how much I love Twitter. So all you had to do was snap a selfie and then upload it with the hashtag GoodfellasSmiler, and then your free pizza would pop out the other side. It was awesome. Selfie! What are you going to do now, Marie?
I'm going to eat a pizza, apparently.
How are you going to get a pizza?
By tweeting at Goodfellas UK and hashtagging GoodfellasSmiler. I'm going to tweet that bad boy.
Tweet that bad boy, Marie.
Tweet it.
I got my pizza. It came in this cool little freezer bag as well, which I really like. Now I haven't actually opened this yet, so this is an exciting moment for both of us. Oh, it smells really good. Oh, it does smell. It's hot, and I love hot food. So I'm excited about this. Ooh. Looks like this. It's got, oh, it smells amazing. It's got spicy sausage, onions and jalapenos. I love jalapenos. And also, what's pretty cool is that you get 2 for 1 entry to Alton Towers as well. So you've got, oh wow, this is awesome. You've got 2-for-1 entry voucher and 50% off the resort hotels, which is really cool because I was just thinking I want to stay in the hotel because I think you really need 2 days to experience it properly. I think I'm probably going to take advantage of that offer. You can also, you've got the chance to win a stay in the Smiler bedroom on the Facebook site. You might also see my face on the Facebook page because the photographer took a photo of me and said he was going to put it on there. So look out for that. It genuinely looks delicious. I'm going to try it for my dinner tonight and I will be putting a review on my blog, so look out for that. It was a really fantastic day. We got there at opening time at 10 o'clock. We left at 6 o'clock, which is closing time, and still we didn't get to experience everything. There is so much to do there. I'm definitely going to stay for a weekend at some point. And there's a spa in the Alton Towers Hotel, which sounds very exciting. I really recommend it. If you haven't been to Alton Towers before, go, because it's amazing. If you haven't been for a while and you haven't had the chance to go on the Smiler yet, I seriously recommend it. It is one of the best rides ever. I think the Smiler and Oblivion were my 2 best rides. So much better than any rides I've ever been on before. So seriously, go and do it now. And now we are driving home. How was your day, Marie?
Brilliant.
What was your favourite ride?
Oh, it's a toss-up between Smiler and Oblivion. They're both pretty awesome, really.
Did you get anything really cool at the end of the day?
Sunburn?
Apart from sunburn?
A wet bottom.
Apart from a wet bottom, I think it's on a big pizza shaped.
Oh yeah, pizza! Some awesome pizza!
Yay! I want to say a huge thank you to Goodfellas and Alton Towers as well for giving me the opportunity to go along and check it out. And thank you very much for watching as well. I will see you again soon. Goodbye.